Hey guys, it's Mishal and this is Q&A with Mishal, episode number 4. Now, in this episode, I'm talking about goal setting. Why is it so important to set goals? I'm talking about how to deal with difficult times. I'm talking about how to deal with people who have massive ego and how to get the best out of people under pressure. And a couple of more questions. I'm not sure. We'll just find out as we go. But let's not waste our time. Let's jump right into it. Now, Rahi, what's my question number 1?
So, for the first question, why do people need to set goals and what is the proper way of setting goals?
Okay, so the only way to achieve something, you have to be really intentional about it, right? And that's why number one reason you have to start setting goals. Now, this is how it works. If you really want something in your life, okay, if you really want to attract something in your life, and if it is just a thought inside your head, if you're just thinking about it, it is just a thought, it is just a fantasy, it is just a wish, and not every wish comes to its fruition, right? And that's why, but when you write your goals down, okay, when you set a goal, when you put a deadline, now that becomes real. When it is a wish, okay, it is just a fantasy. If it is just a thought inside your head, it is a fantasy, it is not a real goal. You exactly know what you want out of whatever that you are trying to do, right? And I believe that thought becomes things, right? I absolutely believe that whatever you focus on expand. If you are going to focus on the misery is going to expand. But if you are going to focus on your goals, the things that you're trying to achieve from your job, the things that you're trying to achieve in life, that is going to manifest itself as well. Now, there is a science behind goals, right? Let's say that you're sitting in a car and you have to sort of go somewhere, and if you don't know where you are going, you're just gonna be taking your car in the circles. You're not going to get anywhere. There is no fixed destination. So first of all, the reason we need to start setting goals, because we have to be intentional about it. If you're just thinking about it, it is not intentional, it is just a fantasy, and the fantasy doesn't have to turn into a reality. Okay, so now what's the science behind setting goals? Now, we all have a system called RAS, that is reticular activating system. Reticular activating system usually just work as a target seeking missile and works as a filter between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is processing information all the time. It's processing, receiving, and adjusting this information in our brain all the time. But our conscious side of the brain needs to know, okay, what's really important for you. Okay, so what happens is when you write your goals down, your subconscious, your conscious brain now understands that, okay, this is something that is really important to you, and now you're going to start paying attention to it. So now your reticular activating system is going to get activated, and it's going to go in your space, go in your environment, and start looking the clues and the opportunities that can help you achieve that target. If you want something, okay, let's say that you want to make $150,000 a year, and you like the idea of $150,000 a year, and you every now and then you're just going to think about it, right? And you're not going to write your goals down. What really happens? There is no urgency. There is no urgency, there is no deadline, okay? When do you, because if you are going to set the vague goals, you are going to get the vague results, right? All you have to do is you keep writing your goal down, keep believing in it, and your RAS, your reticular activating system, is going to keep going in your space, in your environment, and going to keep giving you hints and clues. Okay, this is how you're going to achieve your goals and aspirations. But then if one strategy doesn't work, what you have to do, instead of fixing your goal, you gotta change your strategy. And that's the right way of going after your goals.
That was really very fascinating. I mean, I wasn't aware about the psychological process which goes behind achieving goals. So yeah, we'll move to the next question.
Yep.
How to deal with difficult times?
We have actually made a video about it, and this is what exactly it says: how to deal with difficult times. I think we're going to put a thumbnail up here so people can actually go into it and watch the entire process behind it. Now, in a nutshell, okay, so people basically first just need to understand that whatever that you're going through at this stage, eventually it's not here to stay. Okay, eventually it's going to go away from life. Now, let's first understand what really happens when you are actually going through a difficult time. The first thing that really happens when you're going through a difficult time, the structure around your lifestyle and daily routine goes out the window, right? Because you now don't know what to sort of expect every single day. The COVID-19 happened and we were not prepared for it, right? We did not factor a pandemic in when we were planning for 2020. So, and then there was this massive lockdown across the world, right? You can't travel, okay? You can't step out of your house. And then the millions and millions of people are dying because of this pandemic, and no one had factored that thing in when they were working out their plans for 2020. For a lot of businesses, what really happened is it is like 2020 and they still do not have a website, okay? They're still not doing anything on the internet. Now there's a lockdown. They're not making any money, they're losing the clients, and their livelihood is dependent on this business. So now what they did, they actually pivot immediately. They pivot immediately, because what's going to happen when you're going through a difficult time and you are stubborn, if you are in denial of the difficult times, what's going to happen? You're going to become stagnant. And the moment you become stagnant, you become stale, and one day you're going to be obsolete. Right? So you're gonna have to adapt according to the time. And the number one thing that you're going to have to do is you need to get some kind of a structure around your routine, because you need some kind of a confidence. You need some predictability in your life. Okay, so now you know it doesn't matter what really happens in your space. It doesn't matter what really happens in your business. There are so many things we do not have any control over. No one thought something like this would happen in this world, right? Like, no one thought that millions of people are going to die. So there is extremely unpredictable. The reason you are losing your confidence, because you don't know what's going to happen in the morning, right? You don't know anything about your finances, how it is going to impact your personal and business finances. So there is unpredictability, right? So the structure that you had before that goes out of the window. Your plans and the strategies and the tactics that you had doesn't apply into the new world. There are a few things we have total control over: what time you get up, what time you go to bed, what kind of food you have, right? What kind of conversation you need to have, right? So put yourself into some kind of a structure. When you put yourself under some kind of a structure, you start to feel a little bit confident, right? And once you start to feel a little bit confident, okay, you start to get a little bit of momentum. And the moment you get some kind of control over your routine, that confidence and the momentum that you have achieved around your schedule is going to spill over into the other parts of your life. Okay, so this is what you need to do when you are going through difficult time. What really happens is you're losing the confidence. Now you're nervous, you don't know what's going to happen. So to get some sort of a certainty back into your life, you need to have a structure around your routine, right? Get up on time, make your bed, have a breakfast, okay, and run your business as usual. And don't try and control things that you do not have any control over. Don't try and control the pandemic. Don't try and control the perception of your customers, but you still have control over how many clients you speak to, how many contents you are going to create, right? And that's how you get some kind of confidence into your routine, the things that you do on a daily basis, and things always going to get better.
Okay, so the third question is, how do people produce results under pressure?
Okay, so here's the thing you need to understand, right? The real measure of a man or a woman is not during the time of comfort and convenience. The real measure of a man or a woman is during the time when they're constantly getting the shit kicked out of them, right? When they're losing, when they're not getting the traction, right? Here's the thing, right? If you squeeze a rotten tomato, what you get out of it? When you apply pressure on a rotten tomato, you get a rotten juice. But when you apply pressure on an orange, what happens is you get an orange juice. And this is it. Pressure is not a bad thing. How you look at the pressure, that's the whole thing, right? And always remember this: when you are under pressure and demanding more out of yourself, you're building mental calluses in your mind. You're becoming a better human being. When you push yourself, right, what happens is you become more able human being, right? More things comes out of you, right? Anyone can perform really, really well when everyone is cheering for them. But when shit hits the fan and you deliver, you are playing in a different category, and not everyone can actually do it, right? So don't think pressure is a bad thing. The only way to build muscle is putting yourself deliberately into pressurized situation. You have to expose yourself to the scenarios and situations where you have to perform and deliver under pressure.
For the fourth question is, how can we replace some of the limiting beliefs that pull us down?
Okay, so I've got nothing against anyone's belief system. If you are still getting the results out of those old belief system, right, then I've got no problem with it. The only time you're going to have to reassess some of this belief system if you stop getting the results out of it. The moment you stop getting the results out of it, you're gonna have to let go some of those limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs are like for instance, is you have a Ferrari or you have a Bentley, or you're driving those cars with a square tire, or you got the handbrakes on. Same way, if the limiting beliefs are controlling your life, it's like you're taking one step forward and you're taking 3 steps backward. So how do we get rid of some of these limiting beliefs? First of all, you need to associate massive pain around your limiting beliefs. What do I mean by that? Let's say that you just believe that you can't lose the weight. And why do you believe that? Because you are telling yourself those stories subconsciously that you're just big bones. Everyone in your family are fat, okay? Everyone in your family got a bad immune system, or some sort of a story you are telling yourself, and that is actually controlling your actions, and you are not going to the gym. Even though you are hiring the personal trainer, you are not giving your 120%. You are cheating on the diet. If you honestly believe that, okay, there is a shortage of success, or you honestly believe that everyone is struggling around you, or if you believe that the money is the root of all evil, you're not going to go after money. So what kind of actions you are going to take? Because you are now, it's going to affect your ability to take massive levels of action. So you are basically self-sabotaging yourself. Once you associate a massive pain around it, you have to magnify it. Right? You have to magnify that pain. You have to make that thing so large that it has to overwhelm you. That gives you enough leverage to replace your limiting belief with a positive behavior. Right? And then you have to visualize, okay, let's say that how are you going to feel once you stop smoking? Okay, what it's going to do to your family, what it's going to do to your performance at work, what it's going to do to your stamina. Right? Now you can run a little bit faster, right? Instead of just getting exhausted in 2-minute run, now you can do about sort of 10 minutes run, right? You have to put yourself in a position, what's going to happen once you replace your limiting beliefs with an empowering belief. And that's how you need to deal with your limiting beliefs. You have to put yourself in a position, okay, first of all, you have to assess whatever you believe in, because 90% of the times people don't even know, they're not even aware that what they believe in, they don't even understand the reason they're not achieving their goals and aspirations, because their limiting beliefs are actually holding them. Why do you think so many businesses in India, they're still not playing on the social media, right? Because they thought, okay, they did not born with the internet, okay, they were not born with the Facebook and digital marketing. So they just believe that they have massive limiting beliefs around doing something on the internet, creating the content, because they did not born with that technology. right? So how do you change that? Okay, if you're not going to do anything on the internet, if you're not going to get into content marketing, or if you're not selling your products and services on the internet, soon you're going to be obsolete. And once your business is no more, it's going to affect you financially, it's going to affect your family, you won't be able to maintain your lifestyle, and then and you can't have a legacy if you don't have your business. So you're going to have to adapt immediately. Okay, so yeah, so in a nutshell, identify your limiting belief, number one. Number two, associate a massive pain around it. That's how you're going to have a leverage over it. Magnify that pain and replace that limiting belief with empowering belief, and visualize yourself. Okay, what's going to happen to your life once you have that new habit, that new behavior, how it is going to change your life, right? And that's my short answer to this question.
Thank you. So the last question is, how do we deal with people who have huge ego?
So here's the thing about people with massive ego. You need to understand that they have wrapped their whole identity around always being right in the room, right? So every time you are in the discussion with them, the only way they can feel that they are the boss, they are the big dog in the room, or they are the shit, is when they pull people down. The only taste of success these people can have when they take a bite out of you. They don't believe in lifting people up, because when they lift people up, that means that they see it as a weakness, right? Because they want to feel really good about themselves. The only way they can feel really good about themselves when they pull people down. So what can you do? Is there's nothing I can say or do. They're gonna quiet their voices. Okay? The greatest revenge is massive success. You succeed at a level that they can not fly at that level. I want to give you an example, right? So the lion is the king of the animal kingdom. With birds, eagle is the king or queen, whatever you want to say, is the bird kingdom, right? So when the eagle is flying at a lower altitude, what really happens with all the other birds take a bite out of the eagle? So what eagle does? It just elevates its game and gonna fly at an altitude these small players cannot fly. Okay, so it's gonna fly at an altitude of 50,000, 40,000 altitude. So at that level, they cannot get to her. So again, if you really want to deal with the people who have massive ego, right, don't get in an argument with them, because they're gonna put you down. They are so good at this game that they're gonna put you down. Just silence them. Don't say a word. Just let your work make all the noises. Don't try and deal with it. It's an absolute waste of time. There is nothing that you can do to silence their voices. They're always going to act this way, right? The only way they're going to learn is they're going to learn from their own experiences. When they're going to lose something because of their massive ego, then they're going to learn the lessons. The only way to humble those people, when they go through massive disruption themselves, and because of their own ego caused that disruption. That's the wrap for Q&A with Mishal, episode number 4. Now, understand this, guys. These are your questions. I'm answering them. Now, if you want me to answer any of your questions, business related, marketing, mindset, how to get the best out of your people, how to get the best out of yourself, or how to perform under pressure, okay? Don't forget to leave your question in the comment section, and we're going to try and cover that in the next episode. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.